Hello, chosen one. Please, don't scroll away from this message. Stay and listen. You were not brought here by coincidence. You were led here by divine arrangement. In the next few minutes, open your heart and allow yourself to receive what heaven has prepared for you. A miracle is about to touch your eyes. Not only the eyes that see the world around you, but the eyes of your spirit, the ones meant to recognize truth, purpose, and the light of God's presence. You have grown weary, chosen one. For a long time you have carried the weight of waiting for change, for answers, for healing. Each day has felt like a repetition of effort and disappointment. You've done everything you could, and still peace seemed far away. Yet even in your silence, God has been near. He has been watching, listening, waiting patiently for the right moment to speak. And now, that moment has come. My child, the voice of God says gently, pause and listen to me. I know how exhausted you are. I have seen your tears and your sleepless nights. I know how hard you've tried to find peace, to restore what was lost, but human strength can only go so far. Now it is time for me to move. I am the one who created your eyes from the dust, and I am the one who can restore them. Do not fear and do not doubt. Miracles do not begin with your effort. They begin when you open your heart and believe. Something begins to stir within you, a stillness, a warmth, a quiet presence that words cannot describe. The voice continues, steady and full of compassion. I take no pleasure in your pain. It has never been my desire for you to live in limitation, confusion, or darkness. I long for you to walk freely, to see clearly, to live fully. Even now, as you listen to these words, my healing hand is moving. Light is rising inside you, touching every part of your being. As C.S. Lewis wrote in The Problem of Pain, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. Your pain, chosen one, has never been meaningless. It has been a sacred call not to despair, but to awakening. Through the struggle to see, God has been teaching you to look deeper, beyond what is visible, into the realm of faith where miracles are born. Now the voice of God grows tender yet strong. Open your heart, my child. Let your spirit listen. The moment you believe, the healing begins. Not tomorrow, not one day far away, but now. For I am the same God who spoke light into darkness, and I am bringing that light into your life once again. You stand still, chosen one, as the words settle into your soul like the first light of dawn. The light that once seemed distant begins to glow within you, and somewhere deep inside, faith awakens again. If this message speaks to your heart, share in the comments. What part of your life do you need God to bring clarity and light to today? The voice of God continued, and the atmosphere around you seemed to shift. It was as if heaven itself leaned closer to whisper a secret meant only for your soul. Chosen one, the Lord said, I have seen how long you have struggled to see clearly, not only with your eyes, but with your heart. You have looked for answers, but everything seemed clouded. You have tried to understand why certain things happened, why doors closed, why pain lingered. But now, I tell you, I am restoring your vision. What has been blurred will become clear, and what has been hidden will soon be revealed. His words carried warmth and weight, both gentle and powerful. You were never meant to live in confusion, he said. The eyes I gave you were designed not just to look at the world, but to perceive my truth, my beauty, and my purpose for your life. The same hands that shaped the stars also formed the delicate fibers of your sight, and I have not forgotten how to heal what I created. Every nerve, every cell, every connection that has been weakened, I am renewing them now. My power is not limited by time, nor hindered by human reason. The same voice that said, "Let there be light in the beginning," is now speaking light into your eyes. You close your eyes for a moment, and it is as though you can feel his presence moving through you, not like a storm, but like the gentle rising of dawn. Do not look at what is failing, he said. Look at what I am renewing, for I make all things new. The fog that once covered your vision is lifting, and soon you will see with the clarity of heaven. You will not only see the world differently, you will see yourself differently. You will see that every delay was divine timing, every closed door was protection, every unanswered prayer was preparation for what is now unfolding. Then his voice became a soft but steady current, flowing through your soul like living water. The world teaches you to rely on sight, but I teach you to walk by faith. Even when you could not see me, I was guiding you. Even when your vision failed, mine never did. I saw your path from the beginning, and I have been leading you toward light all along. For it is written, "The Lord opens the eyes of the blind. The Lord lifts up those who are bowed down. The Lord loves the righteous." Psalm 140, 6-8. That promise is alive within you now. The same power that opened the eyes of the blind in Jerusalem is flowing through your body, restoring, realigning, reviving what once seemed lost. You begin to realize that the healing God speaks of is not only physical, it reaches deeper into the unseen parts of your life. The Lord continues, "When I heal, I do not stop at the surface. I heal what your eyes could not see, the fears that dimmed your faith, the memories that clouded your hope, the voices that made you doubt who you are. I am restoring not only your sight, but your vision, the ability to see the future I have planned for you, full of peace and promise. For as it is written, 'For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope.'" Jeremiah 29-11. Each word feels alive, as if spoken directly into your spirit. You sense something changing, a lifting, a lightness, an awakening. "Chosen one," he says, "there is a light within you that no darkness can overcome. I am touching your eyes so that you may see that light, the light of my glory, the light of truth that will guide you through every shadow. When you walk from this moment, you will not walk by sight alone, but by revelation. You will notice things you could not before. You will see beauty where there was bitterness, opportunity where there was fear, and purpose where there was pain." The Lord's voice deepens, resonating like thunder wrapped in compassion. "I am not a distant God who watches from afar. I am the God who bends low to heal his children. Just as I opened the eyes of the blind man who washed in the pool of Siloam, I am opening yours. When I said, 'Go, wash in the pool,' it was not only an act of obedience, it was an act of faith. And when he obeyed, his eyes were opened. Today, I ask the same of you. Wash your sight in faith. Believe that your eyes, both natural and spiritual, are being renewed by my word. For my word does not return empty. It accomplishes what I send it to do." And as those words echo within you, something deep inside begins to awaken. It's not only vision, it's understanding. You see now that this healing is not a moment, but a beginning. From this day forward, the voice says, your eyes will not only see the world, they will recognize my hand in everything. You will discern what is true, perceive what is hidden, and notice the beauty I placed around you. Where there was darkness, there will be light. Where there was confusion, there will be peace. And where there was blindness, there will be vision. You open your eyes again, and though the world looks the same, something within you knows it has changed. For you have heard the promise of vision restored, and what God has spoken, no power in heaven or earth can undo. The voice of the Lord grows gentle yet radiant, filling the space around you like sunlight breaking through clouds. "Chosen one," he says, "my healing has already begun, but to complete what I have started, you must speak what I am about to reveal." There are 3 words, simple yet sacred, that carry the power of heaven. When you speak them with faith, they will open the gate to your miracle. These words are not ordinary sounds. They are declarations of creation, keys that unlock what I have prepared for you. You listen closely, and the presence of God deepens. The air feels alive, almost trembling with divine energy. The Lord whispers, "The first word is vision." When you speak this word, you align your eyes with my design. You are declaring that your sight is not defined by limitation or damage, but by the perfection of my creation. Vision is the agreement between heaven and your body, a reminder that you were made to see, to perceive, and to recognize the works of my hands. Every shadow that once clouded your eyes will begin to fade. Every distortion will be made straight. When you say vision, see yourself walking with eyes that are clear, sharp, and full of light. For I have said in my word, "Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf unstopped." Isaiah 35:5. That promise is living in you now. As you breathe the word vision into the stillness, something stirs a quiet warmth around your eyes, like a soft wave of light washing over them. And the voice continues, "The second word is clarity. For I know how the world has seemed blurred to you, not just what you see with your eyes, but how you've understood life itself. Confusion has tried to surround you. Uncertainty has tried to dim your faith. But I am not the author of confusion. I am the giver of peace. When you speak the word clarity, you are commanding the fog to lift. You are allowing my truth to shine through. Say it with conviction, and as you do, the spiritual haze that has covered your sight will dissolve. You will begin to see not only with precision, but with purpose. You will discern what is real, what is good, what is of me, as it is written. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119-105. That light will now illuminate your way. The Lord's presence wraps around you like a calm fire, steady and alive. And the third word, he says, the one that seals all that I am doing in you is healing. This is the word that carries my breath. When you speak healing, you are inviting the fullness of my power to flow through every part of your being, not just your eyes, but your mind, your heart, and your spirit. Healing is my covenant, my promise to restore completely, not partially. I do not heal halfway. I do not begin and then abandon. I complete what I start. When you say healing, you are declaring that every nerve, every tissue, every fiber is being renewed by my spirit. For it is written, he sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. Psalm 107-20. That word has now been sent to you. You whisper the three words, vision, clarity, healing, and as you do, it feels as though heaven itself breathes with you. A stillness fills the air, heavy with peace. The Lord speaks again, softly but with power. When you speak these words, do not let them be mere sound. Let them be faith in motion. Let them come from the deepest place within you, not from fear, but from trust. For the power is not in the sound alone, but in the belief that I am already at work within you. Light seems to swirl around you now, like invisible streams weaving through the air. Chosen one, he continues, say these words whenever doubt tries to return. Let vision remind you of what I have promised. Let clarity guide your understanding when the path seems uncertain. Let healing affirm that my power is flowing still. Speak them over your life, over your body, over your heart. These words are the keys I have placed in your hands, the language of faith that unlocks the doors of heaven. Then, in a voice that feels like both thunder and tenderness, he finishes, you are not speaking alone. Every time you utter these words, my spirit speaks with you. When you declare vision, I align your eyes with light. When you declare clarity, I reveal truth to your soul. When you declare healing, I seal the miracle that I have begun. You are not waiting for the miracle to come, you are standing in it. It is already unfolding, and as the final echoes of his voice fade, you realize that something within you has changed. You can see differently, not just outwardly, but inwardly. The world around you feels illuminated, as though everything carries new meaning. You understand now that these three sacred words are not magic, but faith alive. They are reminders that God's power moves not in distance, but in closeness, not someday, but now. In the quiet that follows, your heart whispers back to heaven. Vision, clarity, healing, and heaven answers, "It is done." The light that had begun to rise within you now glows brighter, steady, and alive. The Lord's voice returns, not distant, not thunderous, but near, like a teacher guiding a beloved student. "Chosen one," he says, "you have spoken the 3 sacred words, and their power has already begun to work within you. But to sustain what I have started, you must learn the deeper truth. Faith must live through action. Words awaken the miracle, but action keeps it alive. For faith that does not move remains only a dream, and as it is written, faith without works is dead." James 2:26. His tone carries both kindness and command. "Do you remember what I told my servants long ago? I did not perform miracles for those who only believed with their minds, but for those who acted upon that belief." Moses lifted his staff before the sea parted. Joshua marched around Jericho before the walls fell. Peter stepped out onto the water before he realized he could walk. The power was mine, but the movement was theirs. Faith is not proven in comfort. It is proven in motion. It is trust that takes the first step before the path appears. The presence around you seems to shift again, the air thick with meaning, as though the very words breathe life. "Chosen one," he continues, "when I told Moses to raise his staff, the sea was still closed. The winds had not yet come, and the people were afraid. But Moses obeyed, and the waters responded to his faith. The same is true for you. If you wait until you see, you will never move. But if you move because you believe, then you will see. For my word says, we walk by faith, not by sight." 2 Corinthians 5-7. Faith moves first, and miracles follow. You feel his truth pressing gently against your heart, like a pulse of divine energy. When Elijah called down fire from heaven, the Lord says, he did not wait to see flames before building the altar. He built it first, poured water upon it, and trusted me to do what only I could do. When the woman with the issue of blood touched my garment, she did not wait for permission or a guarantee. She moved through the crowd and reached out in faith. Power flowed the moment she acted. Her faith was not quiet, it reached forward. The miracle was not waiting on me, it was waiting on her movement. The weight of his words fills you with understanding. You begin to see that faith was never meant to be still. It breathes, it walks, it speaks. God's voice continues, calm but firm. You have declared vision, clarity, healing. Now live as though they are already true. Walk as though your sight is clear. Speak as though light surrounds you. Move as though healing already flows through your body. This is the language of heaven, the language of action. For belief without motion is only hope, but belief with obedience becomes power. You take a deep breath, feeling both humbled and strengthened. The Lord's voice softens. Do not confuse waiting with obedience. Waiting keeps you standing still. Obedience moves you into my will. The blind man I healed was not restored until he obeyed my command to wash in the pool of Siloam. The water did not heal him, obedience did. In the same way, your step of faith opens the door for my spirit to move freely. When you act on my word, heaven acts with you. The air grows still again, but not empty. It hums with quiet certainty, the presence of peace mingling with purpose. Faith, the Lord says, is not an emotion to be felt, but a decision to be lived. It is choosing to trust when logic fails. It is stepping forward when the road ahead is unclear. It is believing that my promise is stronger than your fear. And when you live like that, when you trust enough to move, the very atmosphere around you begins to change. Something inside you responds, a stirring, a courage, a fire that wasn't there before. God's words settle like roots in your heart. Chosen one, you are not proving your worth to me. You are proving your trust in me. You have believed that I can heal you now. Live as one who is healed. You have asked for new sight now. See through gratitude, not worry. You have prayed for light, now walk toward it. For the miracle you seek is not distant. It is unfolding with every step of faith you take. His final words rest upon your soul like a gentle seal. Faith is not the absence of uncertainty, it is the presence of trust. And trust is action. When you move in faith, the unseen becomes visible, and the impossible becomes real. So rise, chosen one. Step forward. Do not look for signs, be the sign. Walk by faith, for the light that I have spoken over you is already shining. And in that moment you understand, the miracle is not only in God's voice, it is in your response. Faith does not wait for the world to change. Faith walks until the world must. The Lord's voice deepens, filled with warmth and remembrance. Chosen one, he says, you have begun to understand the power of faith and action, but to strengthen what is now awakening within you, I will remind you of those who walked this same road before you, men and women who faced fear, impossibility, and despair, yet saw my glory because they dared to trust and obey. Their stories are not distant tales, they are living patterns for all who choose to walk by faith. He continues, his tone steady and alive with purpose. Remember my servant Moses. He stood before the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army closing in behind him. Around him was panic, and before him, only the endless wall of water. There was no way forward, yet I said to him, lift up your staff, stretch out your hand over the sea, and divide it. Exodus 14:16. And Moses obeyed. He raised his staff, even before the wind began to blow, even before there was any sign of deliverance. That act of faith, small, simple, but full of trust, opened the way. The sea parted, and my people walked through on dry ground. Understand this, chosen one. Miracles are not born from comfort, but from courage. Moses did not wait for the sea to move, he moved first. And the same power that split the waters still moves today when my children act in faith. The Lord's voice grows stronger, like a flame kindled by remembrance. Then there was my prophet Elijah, who stood alone on Mount Carmel, surrounded by hundreds of false prophets. The people had turned away from me, and darkness covered the land. Yet Elijah did not fear. He built the altar with his own hands, drenched it with water, and lifted his voice. Answer me, Lord, answer me, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God. 1 Kings 18. Sanchutsi. Before he even finished praying, fire fell from heaven, consuming the sacrifice, the stones, even the water that surrounded it. That day hearts turned back to me. Do you see, chosen one? Faith does not wait for signs. Faith creates the space for signs to appear. When Elijah acted, I responded. The fire still falls upon obedience, and I still show myself to those who stand boldly for truth. The atmosphere softens, and the Lord's tone becomes tender. And remember the woman who had suffered 12 long years, bleeding and broken, forgotten by the world. She had tried everything, spent all she had, and found no cure. But when she heard that I was passing by, she said within herself, if I can just touch the hem of his garment, I will be healed. Mark 5:28. Her body was weak, but her faith was strong. She pushed through the crowd, reached out, and touched my robe, and instantly, power flowed out from me. Her healing came not because of her strength, but because of her movement. She acted on what she believed, and heaven answered her faith. Chosen one, your miracle waits in the same place at the reach of your faith. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need the courage to reach. The Lord pauses, and the sound of his voice takes on the calm of deep understanding. There was also the man who had been blind since birth. My disciples asked, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? I answered, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but that the works of God should be revealed in him. John 9:2-3. Then I spat on the ground, made mud with my hands, and placed it on his eyes. I told him, go, wash in the pool of Siloam. He could have doubted. He could have asked, why must I go? How will washing help? But he obeyed. He walked in faith, even when he could not yet see. and when he washed, his eyes were opened. For the first time, light touched his vision, and my glory was revealed in him. Chosen one, sometimes I will ask you to take steps that make no sense. I may tell you to move before the way is clear, to act before the miracle appears. But when you trust my word above your reasoning, your obedience will unlock what your understanding cannot. The silence that follows is not empty, it hums with the presence of truth. Each of these Moses, Elijah, the woman, and the man born blind believed before they saw. Their faith was not theory, it was movement. They acted, and heaven responded. Their obedience became the vessel for my power, and what I did for them, I will still do for you. For I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Hebrews 13:8. You feel his words settling deep into your heart, alive with light and certainty. When you walk in faith, the Lord says, you are walking in the footsteps of those who came before you. You are joining the lineage of the faithful, those who lifted their staff, who built their altar, who reached through the crowd, who walked to the water and washed. Their stories are not about the past. They are about the pattern of trust that still calls to you now. The same power that moved for them waits to move for you. The voice softens to a whisper, as though heaven itself leans close. Do not say their time was different. The same God who divided seas, who sent fire, who healed by a touch, and who opened blind eyes, that same God speaks to you now. Just as their obedience unlocked my miracles, so will yours. When you take your step of faith, the story of Scripture continues through your life. A stillness fills the air, bright and living. You realize these are not ancient stories written in fading ink. They are living words written into the rhythm of your own heart. The God of Moses, of Elijah, of the woman restored, of the blind man healed, he is here, writing his power into your story. And in that moment, you understand, you are not only remembering miracles, you are standing in one. The air grows still again, and yet the stillness feels alive, like the calm that follows thunder, when the heart finally understands what the storm was trying to say. Then the Lord's voice returns, gentle yet powerful, wrapped in the certainty of eternity itself. Chosen one, he says, you have seen how I move through faith, through obedience, through trust. But before you take your next step, you must know me not only by my miracles, but by my nature. For what I do flows from who I am. My works are not random. They are reflections of my heart. And the first truth you must hold close is this: I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Hebrews 13:8. My power does not fade. My compassion does not waver. My promises do not expire with time. I have not changed, and I will not change. His voice deepens, carrying warmth and authority all at once. The same God who spoke light into darkness still speaks. The same hand that opened the eyes of the blind still touches the broken. The same word that calmed the sea still silences fear. When you read of the wonders I performed, do not think of them as distant memories. They are living testimonies of who I am, reminders that I have never stopped being God. I was faithful to Abraham. I was mighty through Moses. I was merciful with David. I was near to Elijah, and I am present with you now. The stories of old were never written to make you look back. They were written to help you look up. You feel his presence all around you, steady and real, as though the air itself carries his breath. I am not far away, watching from the heavens, he says softly. I am here, near to the broken-hearted, dwelling within those who call my name. I am not the God of distance, I am the God of nearness. I walk among my people, I dwell within their hearts, and I listen to their cries. When you wept, I was beside you. When you doubted, I held you. When you felt forgotten, I was carrying you. You have never been alone, not for a single moment. The words sink into your spirit like roots, taking hold of deep soil. My child, he continues, many have believed that I am a God who punishes, who withholds, who waits to judge. But hear this: my heart is love. My desire is restoration, not destruction. I do not take pleasure in pain, nor do I delight in fear. I discipline to teach, I correct to protect, but I heal to reveal. My goodness, everything I do is guided by love. For as it is written, the Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and rich in love. Psalm 145:8. That is who I am and who I will always be. You begin to sense the weight of His mercy, not as something heavy, but as something grounding, a foundation beneath your feet. When the world changes, He says, I remain. When people fail, I remain. When the seasons shift, I remain. The heavens may pass away, but my word will not. Matthew 24:35. I am constant, I am faithful, I am true. The same love that called you into being will sustain you until the end of time. I am not finished with you. I am still writing your story. Then His voice softens even further, as if He is speaking directly into the quiet corners of your soul. Chosen one, I want you to see me clearly. I am not only the God who heals your body, I am the one who heals your heart. I am not only the God who restores your vision, I am the one who gives you purpose. I am not only the God of miracles, I am the God of relationship. I am near enough to hear your whisper and mighty enough to command the universe. You need not strive to reach me, for I have already reached you. You are not chasing my presence. You are already living within it. A warmth begins to rise within you, the kind that feels like light spreading through the chest. Everything you have seen, the miracles, the healing, the revelation flows from who I am, He says. And who I am is love. My nature does not depend on your success or failure. I am good because goodness is my essence. I am merciful because mercy is my heartbeat. I am faithful because faithfulness is my name. I am not the God of chance. I am the God of covenant. I do not begin what I will not finish, and I will not leave what I have redeemed. What I start in you, I will complete. The air feels filled with light now, and His final words come like a whisper of eternity. Remember this always. I am not far from you. When you breathe, I am near. When you speak, I listen. When you fall, I lift you. When you seek me, you find me, for I have never left. My power has not diminished. My mercy has not run dry. I am your healer, your protector, your father and your friend. I am the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. I am the one who was, who is, and who is to come. As His words rest upon you, peace fills your heart. You realize now that every miracle, every moment of clarity, every breath of faith is not merely evidence of what God can do, it is a revelation of who He is. And in that understanding, your spirit settles into quiet awe. You no longer wonder whether He will move. You know that He already has. For the one who moves heaven and earth has spoken, and His nature, unchanging and eternal, has made its home in you. A deep stillness fills the space, the kind of quiet that carries power, not emptiness. The presence that once surrounded you now rests gently within you, like a steady flame that cannot be extinguished. The Lord's voice returns, no longer distant or echoing, but close as though it rises from within your very breath. Chosen one, He says, you have heard my words, you have spoken the sacred truth, and you have walked the path of faith. Now hear this, the miracle is not coming, it has already begun. Even now, as your heart beats and your spirit listens, my power is working in you. The shift has taken place. The unseen has become reality. The healing has been set in motion, and what I have spoken cannot return empty. For as it is written, so shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it. Isaiah 55:11. You feel His words vibrate through your soul like a living current of peace. The healing you prayed for is already growing, He says. The clarity you asked for has already begun to unfold. The vision you longed for is being restored slowly, steadily, faithfully. What was clouded will shine. What was broken will be made whole. What was lost is being returned. Do not look for evidence in the mirror of the world, look within, where my spirit has planted new sight. Faith does not wait for proof. Faith celebrates before the signs appear, for the invisible work is the truest miracle of all. The presence around you feels warmer now, more alive. The Lord's tone carries both tenderness and triumph. You are not waiting for me to act, he says, for I have already acted. You are not waiting for my promise, you are living in it. Every breath you take now is part of the healing I have begun. My light is rising within you, and it will continue to grow brighter with each step of faith you take. I do not rush what I create. I complete it in perfect timing. So trust the process, for the miracle has not only started, it is flourishing. And then, like a reminder carried by the wind, his words soften. My child, let your gratitude become your testimony. The miracle I have worked in you is not meant to be hidden, it is meant to shine. Speak of what I have done, for in your story others will find their own hope. As you walk, as you see, as you live in light, remember that you are walking proof of my faithfulness. At that moment, a thought from long ago surfaces, a whisper of human wisdom shaped by divine truth. C.S. Lewis once wrote in Mere Christianity, "Faith is the art of holding on to things your reason has once accepted, in spite of your changing moods." You understand now, faith is not a feeling, but a posture. It holds steady when emotion trembles, and because you have held on, the miracle has found you. The Lord's presence fills the air once more, a peace that seems to breathe with you. Chosen one, he says, do not let doubt steal what faith has built. Protect the gift I have given you. Speak the words I have taught you, vision, clarity, healing. Let them be not just sounds upon your lips, but truths that shape your days. Speak them in the morning as the sun rises, and whisper them at night before you rest. Let your heart remember, I have already done it. You are healed. You are whole. You are free. Light seems to pour from within, and every word feels alive. The same God who formed light out of darkness has spoken over you again, the Lord says. And this time, that light burns within your spirit. Walk in it. Rejoice in it. Let it guide your eyes, your steps, and your days. For the miracle is not waiting in tomorrow, it is alive in you now. The stillness returns, but it is no longer silent, it hums with divine certainty. You open your eyes, and though the world looks familiar, it feels different, brighter, softer, reborn. The miracle that began with faith now flows through your entire being. The promise has been fulfilled. The light of heaven has touched the earth, and it lives in you. If this message touched your heart, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and write in the comments what miracle you're believing God for, because faith shared is faith multiplied.